Hey guys, this is Guy Anderson. He's our whole house inspector. And Guy has briefed me a little bit here, and we're gonna go over everything. And then whatever there is that he calls out as any kind of a recommended repair, we'll put our eyes on it and talk about it a little bit so you guys fully understand, okay? And then we'll go over it later. So Guy, take it away, sir.
Hello. A very short list. As soon as I saw that Ramsey had built the house, I knew there wasn't going to be very much at all, especially with just being a 5-year-old house. But I'll go right down the line. If you have any questions, I guess you can ask Luke later.
Yeah, right.
And I'm trying to start to go through my regular spiel, but and everything I'm telling you will be on the report and that. So once you get the report, read over it. If you have any questions, my phone number's right on it. You can give me a call, okay?
Guy's not used to doing just the report on video, so he probably didn't put on his makeup or anything like that. And he always does a good job. And you're covering most of the stuff in your spiel, so it sounds good. We're ready to go through the list.
Okay.
All right.
So the roof original, everything looks good. No issues on that. I saw where they had sealed over some exposed nails, went back a little later on. You have a total of 10 roof vents up there for good ventilation. When I got up in the attic, there was, didn't get too far in there, because there is 22 to 24 inches of blown insulation, which is considerably more than what we typically see. Something else that I don't typically see too, you have 2 skylights that are on the north side, master bedroom, closet, and laundry room. When I got up in the attic, they had insulated that with foam insulation all the way around. You probably already saw the foam insulation around the rim joists of the exposed areas in the basement. So that is, you should be highly insulated and in good shape. So
Dwayne is energy conscious too. He has a Tesla, and on his previous house that they just sold in Virginia, they had $30,000 or $40,000 worth of solar panels.
oh wow.
So knowing that this house is energy efficient, even beyond the new construction standards, is probably something that he's going to like.
Yes, and they did an energy rating on that as well, and I'll show you where that Ramsey did the energy rating, so you can see the R value. It's on the electrical panel.
Oh, okay.
I took a picture of it, but it's in there, and it says the R ratings of the ceiling, the floor, the walls.
Good stuff.
Stuff like that.
So it's highly energy efficiency rated.
Yes,
Awesome.
very much so. And so typically I don't see the spray foam insulation. Usually that's a retrofit. So that was really good to see on a brand new house. So
Awesome.
siding and trim look good. The main issue is your dirt. And Luke already told me that he was on the ball and already got that addressed, but that's the biggest thing out of the whole thing. You're needing quite a bit of dirt on the north as well as on the south. Both downspouts on the northeast and northwest need to be extended further away from the house. The rest of the downspouts are on subsurface drains. So, but anyway, water is your biggest culprit for wall movement. So I measured the foundation. I didn't find any wall movement. I looked twice on the exterior for cracks and could not find any wall cracks in the foundation. On the interior, I found just 2 very minute hairline cracks in the foundation. So nothing major at all on that. The garage, everything's good in there. Garage door openers original, nice high ceilings. Your back overhang, I wanted to make sure that I saw the framing up in there, and this is all 2x4 truss system that's over the house. So truss system, it extends out over. So it was good to see that there was a truss system going across. Because I'm assuming right on the outside, and we can show you a little later, that right there on the corner is a support post where they went ahead and finished out the siding. So it's a nice little divider, but I think it was also serves the purpose of a support post there.
So basically the roof for the overhang for the back patio is very strong?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, with the truss system in place in the attic.
Okay.
So,
Truss is like, that's like, well, it's the roof support boards, if you will. Trusses are like ordered from somewhere else and trucked in and put together, so they're very strong and very consistent in how they're measured and put together, right?
exactly,
Okay.
yeah.
As opposed to somebody just getting up there and starting to nail together a bunch of boards
Yes,
when they're
I mean,
building.
it's just kind of truss system on there where, and you'll see pictures of it. in
Okay.
there, but I couldn't go very far into it because of the 2x4 truss system in there, and then the large amount of insulation, and I don't like to wade through.
Sure.
I may miss the joist.
And step through the
And
ceiling.
step through the ceiling, that's
Yeah.
not a good thing.
Yeah. What was it like last time you stepped through the ceiling? Just
What
kidding.
was the last time?
Yeah, what was it like? I'm just kidding.
What was
You
it
probably
like?
haven't even done it. Did you do it? Have you done it before?
I did it once.
Ah,
Yeah.
I see.
About 15 years ago.
Never again, right?
Got a little too sure that the catwalk was there.
I see. Okay. Sorry about that. All right.
So, anyway, you do have a passive radon mitigation system in place. There is a pipe, and you'll see it in the report. It's a larger 3-inch pipe on the northwest, and up in the attic, there's an outlet right beside it. So if you guys ever decide to test for radon and it comes back over the 4.0 picoliters, then all you need to do or somebody, is go in and cut the pipe, add the fan, and plug it in, and that's all you'll need to do. And then seal that's also the 3-inch pipe that you're seeing in the sump pit. So and then all they have to do is just seal that cover on there. But
So right now it's not a full radon mitigation system with a fan.
no,
And when they built the house, does that mean they tested to make sure that it didn't have high radon mitigation or radon at the time? Or
no, they're required to put in a passive system, which is basically, I mean, it makes it a lot easier. They either put it in the sump pump, which is very common, or they'll go ahead and put it in the concrete, and then they bring it up through a chase that goes up through the attic and out. A passive system just means that there's no fan on it.
okay,
And once and they typically don't go ahead and test, it's just they're required on new construction past July of 08, that they're required to have that.
so later if you do a test, which you can buy a test at Home Depot for $15 and send in put it out in the basement for 5 days or something, and then send it into a lab for $60, then you can find out if you have radon in high concentration. Then if you do, because they put in this passive system already, instead of it costing you $800 or $1,200 to put in a system, it'd be a lot cheaper because the system's already there.
Fan.
Yeah, they just have to put the fan into the system that exists already. Okay. But right now, there's never been any kind of a measure of whether there's
Correct.
high radon or not. So if you're concerned about that,
Yeah,
you probably
usually
want to
they
do
don't.
the test.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then call the extension office, the Shawnee County Extension Office, a lot of times, especially around the month of January, because that's National Radon Month, that they'll have free tests on there too.
Okay.
So garage, everything's fine. Both entry doors respond to test. All the windows were just fine on there. They're vinyl casement windows, no issues on there. All the doors latched, interior doors latched and that. Electrical panel is 200 amps. No wiring issues in there. Very well done. And all the outlets are grounded and wired correctly. The only thing I found was 2 loose outlets. One is in the south master bathroom and basement bathroom. Those just need to be tightened down. I tightened down a few of them, and if they're still loose, I put it down to repair on it. But it's just taking the cover plate off and tightening the the two screws in behind it. And that, so you've got under-counter lighting in here. I'm assuming you guys know what GFIs are, the test reset button outlets. You have a GFCI outlet on this side and a GFCI outlet on this side. And each one of them controls different parts. So that GFCI that you're looking at right now controls this outlet as well as the under the counter outlets.
I didn't even know there was an outlet up there.
In there. So you got two sets of outlets underneath there.
Okay.
Your other GFCI controls these under the counter or under the cabinet.
That's cool. I didn't know there were outlets up there.
And then this one over here.
Okay. Oh, and the one on the other side.
Yeah, on the island.
So if for some reason you're not getting power to any of those outlets, check those reset buttons that are in the closet.
Yes.
Push reset and see if it fixes it.
Yes. Now
Okay.
the master bathroom outlet, or not master, I'm sorry. The main bathroom outlet has a GFCI. It covers the outlets in the master bathroom as well as the basement. So if you don't end up having power to your outlets in the master bedroom or bathroom, it's because your main GFCI outlet, your GFCI outlet in the main bathroom tripped. So you need to go and reset.
The intent of these outlets is to help you from getting shocked.
Yeah.
It's basically another breaker. It's kind of like the breaker that's in the main panel, except it's a lot closer to you, so that if you accidentally drop the toaster in the sink or something like that, then the outlet will pop the breaker in the outlet, so that you have a shorter time to get shocked. Or
It cuts at 1/32 of a second.
Oh.
So in short, it gives you a short shot.
yeah, you'll get it.
Versus electrocution.
Yeah, and then less burning. I don't know, less damage probably of your.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can just pull the toaster out because it didn't shot. I don't know, it's a bad example, but and then press reset afterwards. So it's protection, is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very thorough GFCI protection in the house.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. And the bedrooms and all that have AFCI, it's arc fault circuit breakers in the main panel too.
Oh, okay.
So those are designed to go off if there's any power surges or anything like that.
To protect your computers and TVs and stuff like that.
Yes.
That's an upgrade too, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it sure is. But you have quite a few AFCI breakers in there. And plumbing, no issues in there. Your hot water heater's new. They installed it April 13th of this year, which is a little unusual. I put in the report, and I do the reports as I go along, but to find out what happened to it, because generally hot water heaters last at least twice that long, and it's real unusual to have one that went out in 5 years. And that they also either installed or replaced the thermal expansion tank, 11 of 2020 on there. So that's a little unusual. And I just put down to inquire with the sellers as far as what happened on it, just because it's a little bit unusual on it. All your plumbing is PEX, except for a short amount of copper that's right above your hot water heater that's required. And so that's you got about 65 pounds of pressure coming into the house.
Is that low or high or?
That's right at average. And so that's pretty much it. You do have, and it all depends on, I have put it down, your back porch has 3 treads. Any staircase that had 3 treads or more should have a railing on it. So I just put down, and I moved it from optional, because usually I put it under optional, but since it's new house, I put it under recommended.
I wonder if the VA is going to require them to install that.
I don't know.
I guess we'll see what comes from the appraisal. So
Good question. Electric fireplace, and it all operated. You see flame, you can change the color of the flame, as well as there's a heater on it.
Really?
Blower. So, but it's all electric.
change the color, like to blue or red or
Yeah.
green?
I don't know about that, but I just hit it, once or twice. It went from red to blue. That was kind of neat.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Okay.
So that's it. Nothing under optional.
Really?
And that, but extremely well-built house. Your floor joists are 2x12s, which is a little bit unusual, because usually it's 2x10s. Now and I put it in the report too, your basement walls going north and south are load bearing. And so there's no central beam, it's sitting on top of the wall. So if you wanted to open it up or something like that, you'd have to put in a header.
Okay. Okay, well, what kind of floor is this, do you know? Is it wood? Oh, it's wood. We already looked at that, I forgot.
Well, it's a wood laminate, because it's plywood underneath.
Oh, okay.
It's basically engineered wood.
Okay.
I guess it should be more so than just laminate.
Okay.
But you do have a short piece of laminate right on top of it.
Okay.
So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So it's really officially considered a laminate
Okay.
on that.
Makes sense.
I wondered if they left this in here,
So we'd know.
so you know.
Yeah.
I thought, well, maybe it was to tilt that forward or level that up, but it's too big
Yeah.
on it.
I'd like to put our eyes on the downspouts that are outside. The ones that need to be extended a little bit. I'd like to look at the back overhang where the post is supposed to be, or where it is. I just wanted you to talk to us about the radon mitigation system while we're looking at it. And then I'd like you to point out the 2 loose outlets that just need to be tightened down. And then I'll check on the plumbing to see why the hot water heater was replaced so recently and why they replaced that thermal expansion tank. And then I'd like to see, just point to the walls that are the load-bearing walls in the basement. That way they know for the future going forward. Sound good?
Well, yeah, why don't we do the inside stuff first?
Yep.
But the South Master, this is the outlet that's loose
Okay.
and that. But like I said, you have both regular outlets in here, so that your GFCI is in the main bathroom.
Okay. Sounds good.
Your laundry service, no issues there.
Okay.
Show you the main water shut off too.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
So everything in the house is PEX. And they've got it, this is your main water shut off.
Main water shut off right there. Okay.
Yeah.
If there's ever a leak in the house, you run down here and turn that bar and shut it all off then, right? Okay.
Yeah. And then they've got the system, the house grounded to that's your gas line coming in.
Okay.
So they've got it grounded here, plus you've got your grounding rod here.
Okay. That's the electrical ground.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good? Or just normal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's good to see, especially when you don't have metal pipe, copper
Oh, I
on
see.
there, because that's when they tie in to ground
Usually-
the whole house.
Yeah.
And so when they don't, then that's,
Usually they ground to the plumbing.
yeah,
but
that's the energy rating I was telling you about.
I can see it pretty. Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay. R49, that's pretty high.
Yeah, there's an awful lot, 22 to 24 inches.
Okay.
But this is your panel.
Good stuff. There's room for extra if they
Yes.
ever wanted to add anything.
Well, and even more than the 7 slots here, because if you look, these are designed for tandem breakers. So you've
Oh, I
got
see.
even more juice.
Got a lot of room. Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yep. And your basement bathroom, that was the other loose outlet in there.
Just the one above, right here by the.
Yeah.
That's the one needs to be tightened. So you
Yep.
just take the plate off and tighten the screws.
Yes.
Behind it, then-
I tighten the one screw because it's quicker for me to tighten it down than to put in the report twice. But
Yeah.
if it doesn't, then I go ahead and put it in.
Gotcha.
But this is your radon pipe, and they did label it.
Okay.
And that your sump pump has an interior float, and it's original, 2016.
Okay.
It's got an interior float, so I couldn't test it on there.
Oh.
But it looks like it's been active.
Okay.
From what I'm seeing down below.
All right.
Here.
How do they make sure that that it's still running if you can't test it? Pour some water in there.
Pour some water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So your furnace filter right there is clean, in good shape. Blower blades are clean on the furnace, so they kept up on that.
Okay.
These are the 3-month filters, not 30-day. I would encourage you not to use 30-day.
Okay.
But see, they installed it then, and then I checked. The manufacture date on this is 3 of 2021, so it matches.
What does this do?
That is the thermal expansion.
Yeah, can you tell us what it is?
That's to help keep the pressure down, that you don't have water hammering and
Knocking of the pipes and stuff.
knocking pipes and stuff.
Okay.
So I don't know if that was been there before and they replaced it, but I just find it interesting that they had an issue there, and then before long they turned right around a few months later, 6 months later, and replaced it.
Maybe they had the water heater turned up way too high or something like that.
I don't know.
Because that would give you like a lot of pressure in the, extra pressure in the water heater, probably burn out the heating element faster.
Yeah.
And then.
Well, and a lot of times that's what they do when you have a little too high of pressure coming into the house.
Okay.
And where you need a pressure reduction valve, then they usually install your thermal expansion tank too.
But if you got 65 coming in.
65, and I found no pressure reduction valve.
Okay, so that's not super high pressure. That's just normal, adequate, good pressure.
I have down in report if it's over 80, and I'll fudge on that, even up to 90.
Mm-hmm.
And that I put in the report just because you want as good a pressure as you can get without blowing joints and gaskets and stuff like that.
What's the lowest that you ever want?
The lowest, pretty low.
Oh, really?
40s.
Oh, okay. So 65, we're right in the middle.
35, 40 is very, very low.
Okay.
And that, but you still find that in wells.
Yeah.
Too, where the pressure in is high. But
what's this right here?
It's just a little unusual.
What's that black spot?
That was a drill mark for I think they were going to put the main water shutoff over here.
Oh, and
they changed their mind because your water meter's on your north side of your driveway, so it would have made sense to put it here.
Yeah.
For some reason, they decided not to, and then they crossed the driveway and put it over there.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But this spray foam that I was telling you about.
Oh yeah.
That's
that extra insulation.
Fantastic stuff.
Really?
Yeah. And so I was really surprised to see that up in the attic too, around your skylights. It was just pretty impressive.
So this is all the way around.
Yeah.
We're assuming it's probably behind the drywall and stuff too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Assuming so.
Yep.
But yeah, usually that's a retro.
Some extra carpet down there. Extra flooring pieces.
A little tighter house than that. So you should have a very tight house. And look how thick the wall is over here.
Yeah, the wall's thick.
So they apparently build it out quite a bit. So I wonder how much is insulated in behind here.
Okay. I thought it said R13 over here in the thing.
Yeah,
it said basement
2x4, which is what I saw on the other side of the wall, on this wall. But on this wall, it's a lot thicker.
Oh yeah.
There's no, and I measured too, and there's no real inward wall movement or anything like that would cause, like usually I see that and it's additional bracing that they had to put on the wall, but there's no, I don't understand it.
I wonder why it is thick back there. So there's nothing that there's not any kind of stuff in the walls. Like,
Yeah.
that's not where
And
anything.
your egress window well, I mean, you've got the standard thickness on that. So this is a thicker wall
Yeah.
on here, but your egress window well, what they did around here is standard thickness.
Oh.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
This is your standard thickness.
Huh.
Although that looks like it's a more like a 2x6
Yeah.
thickness.
You know what I saw this week? I've got some clients, they bought some kind of a wrap that goes in there, and it looks like stone or bricks, like gray bricks. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Like, when I look at that, I always just think, I feel like I'm in a silo or something, you know, but the way they did it, it makes it look like an old European castle or something like that. So you said that there are load-bearing walls down here.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
walls are they?
It's your north and south walls going this way.
Okay.
Yeah. And see, you can tell that this is your load bearing
Oh,
because your 2x12 floor joists are sitting right on top of it.
I see. What's the
And then they
benefit?
put
Go
a
ahead.
header right over it.
Oh, I
over
see.
this.
Instead of having a steel beam going down the middle of the house, you got a, you know.
You've got the wall.
What's the purpose? What's the benefit of having 2x12 floor joists instead of 2x10s or?
Well, it's you can go longer distances,
Oh,
and
it's stronger.
It's stronger. You don't have the floor flex. Like I was telling you, I did a 120-year-old house yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It had floor joists that were 2x8s and some 2x6s, and that. So when you step on it, you notice it.
Oh, really? This is a really solid floor.
It's really solid, and you've got 16-inch on centers, which
It's close. They're even
usually 24.
so they're thicker. Like the floor joists are bigger boards and they're closer together than they have to be.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Super strong. All right. Shouldn't be squeaking in here then, right?
Shouldn't be.
All right. How many squeaks did you count in the house, Guy?
I didn't.
Guy didn't count the squeaks, guys. I don't know why.
Well, there weren't any squeaks.
Oh, zero.
Yeah.
Zero squeaks.
So,
I think we're going outside now, aren't we?
yeah. All right, this is what I was telling you about. I wanted to make sure when I got up in the attic, I was checking. I'm assuming that there's a support on that corner,
Oh, okay.
but two, this overhang here
Uh-huh.
is all, when I look, they've got the truss system that goes over, instead of just having regular rafters and that, it's that spider web assembly that is for stability.
Okay.
So, but yeah, everything looks really good there.
Okay. How about this little crack right here in the patio? Is that a big deal?
No,
Okay.
no, and I looked all along here and they flashed it properly and all that, but I looked several different ways just to make sure that this wasn't settling any.
Okay.
It looks like they added recent dirt right around here for some reason.
Sure. Yeah. That.
But why they didn't go ahead and do all that extra dirt there?
They must have done something to this drain here and then had the. I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. But they need. Yeah. It needs more dirt all
Needs a
along.
lot.
Yeah. How much? How many? Like 2 loads or how much on this side? How many trucks of dirt does it need? Does it need a truckload? Half a truckload?
You need a good sized truckload for both.
Both sides?
Yeah.
Each side?
Yeah, and well, it should be one good sized truckload for both.
Can you put in the report like how much dirt you're actually recommending? I know you're going to put a dollar amount in there, but I mean, I've found that people always they short the dirt. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like I need to have you come back and re-inspect it when it's done or something. I don't know. You know, Because I mean, usually they don't even believe you need dirt now, you know. But that's why I wrote it in there, because
and see, you notice there on your meter,
yeah.
the the conduit. They replaced that
Oh,
since they painted the house. So I imagine that it settled right along with the grade, and it settled so much that they had to replace the conduit.
I gotcha.
So
They
that's the stairs.
they told me when they constructed it, they dug this out right there for these 2 windows, just so you could get some light in that basement down there. So that's a really good idea. Makes the basement a lot more homey and friendly.
And that's your exhaust for your basement bathroom.
Okay.
And then your dryer is over here.
Okay.
But see, this downspout here is going right back towards your house.
Yeah.
Your foundation and settling right here.
So it needs a splash block or something, and
Yeah, need it. Yeah. Ideally, that should be subsurfaced and brought out here.
okay. Because there's a HOA too that I believe they mow the lawn and stuff, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because if you start putting in lawn
Tubes and stuff.
splash blocks or an extension in that, they're going to be either hollering or you're going to be damaged. It's going to be damaged quite a bit.
So it'd be a really good idea if you connected these to a pipe like the one over there and dug it out and made it pop out somewhere here in the yard.
Yeah, but you don't need quite as much dirt, but it's still, you're still needing some good dirt here. I'm saying probably a good 4 yards.
4 yards of dirt on this side.
On the north end.
Oh, on the north and south together.
Yeah.
4 yards.
You don't need quite as much here, but you need quite a bit right on this.
Okay.
It's starting right here.
Because it's concave, yeah, and there's moss growing in there. But this is the north side, so that makes sense. Okay.
That's your drive.
Okay.
And then this should have a splash block there just to make sure it's not dumping right next to your foundation.
Okay.
And because of the grade, it's pretty pronounced grade here. I'm sure it's dumping right into your neighbors.
If you put a splash block there and dug it kind of into the ground, then the lawnmower would just run right over it and never displace it. So.
And then that way it won't be soaking into the ground right next to your.
Yeah, making your driveway settle and your.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't find any cracks in the driveway.
Awesome.
And the only crack in the sidewalk here is at the expansion joint where they wanted it.
Oh yeah, and I really like that they ran this drain underneath the sidewalk too, because that's commonly a problem when they don't, and that sidewalk ends up settling. So, all the stone out here look good and all that.
Yep.
Okay.
Everything looks good, well done, properly flashed.
Awesome. Well, anything else?
I think that's it.
All right, I think that's the report. Guy Anderson Home Inspections.
Yep.
Thank you very much, sir. Good job. We appreciate it.